Did you know that you could read all the magazines you love in one place and without limits? On Zenio Unlimited, with more than 5,000 titles to choose from, more than 25 different categories, there's something for everyone. You can use it on the web or app for iOS and Android, create your own library, customize your reading experience with your own personal style, and even read offline. Visit ZenioUnlimited.com to get your 30-day free trial now and start reading. That's ZenioUnlimited.com.
Welcome to the Tech Mobility Podcast.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, a review of the all-new 2024 Lexus GS 550 SUV, the ethics of AI Part 2, and your privacy fairy godmother. It's another favorite. We'll talk about that. To engage with the show, be it to ask a question, share an opinion, or to suggest a topic of future discussion, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793, or connect us via email, talk@techmobility.show. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our social media pages, YouTube channel, or our two podcasts, the Tech Mobility Podcast and Tech Mobility Topics. From the Tech Mobility News Desk, one word, Mitsubishi. When is the last time you remember seeing a Mitsubishi vehicle on the road? Mitsubishi has been in business and continues to be in business selling vehicles in America, but their product line has shrunk dramatically in recent years. You may not also know that Mitsubishi kind of joined up with Renault and Nissan in their little alliance, and honestly, kind of saved them. A couple of trick products that they have brought out in recent years, the Eclipse Cross, which was a smaller crossover, which was really nice, and their new Outlander, which, to be blunt, is a rebadged Nissan Rogue. But it is so much better than anything Mitsubishi had been selling in recent years. I went along for the ride. But again, these are vehicles that have been out now for a while. And their product line's not that big. They sell this little vehicle that honestly got highly panned by Consumer Reports called the Mirage. It's a little cheap, literally cheap, subcompact with a 3-cylinder, and it wasn't very good. And that's going to finally go out of production here pretty soon. In fact, the end of this year. But they didn't sell that many of them, which is why you probably don't remember Mitsubishi and you're racking your brain right now. What's up? No, they're still in business in the United States. And they've fallen quite a bit from their assembly plant in Normal, Illinois, which is now the Rivian plant, to where they are now. Wow. 20 years ago, Mitsubishi was expanding. They was big time. They unveiled something called Project America. It was a $1.6 billion investment in product and bringing new models to market. And it was great. They brought out this new first generation SUV that was wonderful. They had the Galant going on. They had the Lancer going on. They had the Eclipse going on. They had a lot going on as a good, solid, reputable, profitable, second-tier Japanese automaker. And then everything went wrong. By 2012, they had closed that plant. The Lancer was out of production. The product line had shrunk dramatically. And they were on the ropes. They cast their lot with Renault and Nissan, which made sense because now Mitsubishi, for that alliance in the rest of the world, is their small car leader. In the United States, they're looking to rebuild their product line in the years to come. And they're expecting to bring out vehicles from now through 2030 to muscle up their lineup. But it's a question I'm asking a lot lately because there are a lot of automakers either retooling, recommitting, or expanding in the American marketplace. Is there a place in the American market for Mitsubishi? Because right now, they're not even a rounding point in terms of volume. So hard to say how their dealers are even in business because there's only so many used vehicles you can sell. But this is from Automotive News recently. The Japanese automaker will overhaul its aging and mostly exclusively gasoline-powered portfolio of 4 nameplates with a mix of combustion engine, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and battery-only models. And if it wasn't for Renault and Nissan, they wouldn't have the money to do it. At its North American retailer meeting in May, Mitsubishi pledged to launch a new or updated model each fiscal year starting for April 1st, 2026 to March 31st, 2031. Mitsubishi will bring 2 electric compact crossovers and a sporty passenger van this decade. A van. Okay, a van. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Next generation platforms will support multiple powertrains, allowing the automaker flexibility to respond to market demand. That makes good sense. To drive consumer buzz in the new metal, Mitsubishi will muscle up its U.S. dealership network and introduce what they call alternative retail concepts. I don't know what that means. But they do admit that they're at a pivotal point in North America, and that charting a bold, clear, and attainable plan for our future success in the United States is a priority. But first, the budget price mirage gotta go. I don't miss it. I'm just trying to figure out why they would build a van in this current marketplace, but they're bringing a sporty overlanded van to the U.S. by the end of the decade. It's based on the DX concept, a futuristic-looking 6-seater plug-in hybrid that they revealed at the Japan Mobility Show last year. Mitsubishi has described the concept as having a Rubin cabin space of a multi-purpose vehicle, the road handling of an SUV, and the driving performance of a plug-in hybrid. And again, I wonder, depending on price point, volume, and availability, is this something that will catch on with American consumers? I mean, after all, we do have van players still in this marketplace. Toyota, Chrysler, Honda still build vans, Kia. But their volumes are nowhere where they used to be even 15, 20 years ago, where Chrysler dominated with almost 1 million just for their 3 nameplates. The Dodge Grand Caravan, the Chrysler Town & Country, and there was a Plymouth variant at the time. So there's a question. They're looking at an electric compact crossover, and it will share a platform with a Nissan-developed crossover and be built in the United States in their Canton, Mississippi factory. I've been down there. It's an amazing plant. The Outlander will receive a freshen early next year with an updated front and rear fascia design and a significant upgrade to the interior. It is a rebadged Nissan Rogue, but it is awesome. And it's an excellent addition to the brand because from a quality, performance, and visual standpoint, it's head and shoulders above anything else Mitsubishi had been doing. So it was a home run. And to add a lot of this electrical stuff they're going to get from the Renault side. So again, for all the money that Mitsubishi would have to spend, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars, which they don't have, the alliance with Renault and Nissan is going to allow them to get necessary product into the pipeline for the U.S. dealers to be competitive. The question is, and I got to ask it, is it too little too late? I mean, nobody's taking prisoners right now. And the wild card, that in spite of all the tension with the Chinese, BYD is bulking up in Mexico. Other automakers are bulking up in Canada. Do you really think that at some point in the near future, and I'm talking the next 10 years, you will not begin to see those vehicles on American roads? After all, BYD already builds electric buses in the United States right now. They built an electric pickup truck and a crossover that they're building and selling in Mexico. That is the plan. Things are also happening in Canada. It's only a matter of time. As they get their factories up to speed and they meet the qualifications of being in North America with North American content, is there a point in time when they will not sell in America? I think it's a matter of time, and I don't think it's 20 years. I think it's 5 to 10, honestly. Will Mitsubishi have a place? Will they be able to muscle in with product that people will want to buy at price points? They're smaller. They don't have the money. They don't have the dealer body. They don't have the bulk necessary to break through, even with Renault and Nissan's help. So we will see if their plan gains traction in the American marketplace. Competition's always good, and I hope they do. But unless they see something more than I'm seeing now, I just don't see that happening. The long-running Lexus GS has just gotten a makeover for 2024. I review that SUV next. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the main place to be these days, and we are no exception. I'm Ken Chester, the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Facebook videos. From my latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary of a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Facebook. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. Be sure to subscribe to our Facebook page. Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. Tech Mobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcast to iHeartRadio and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter Tech Mobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.
Off-road technology, an available third-row seat, and a powerful 4.7-liter V8 engine. The new Lexus GX is an adventure in luxury. See Lexus of Wayzata and Lexus of Maplewood.
Yes, it was a Minnesota Lexus commercial, but that was from 2004, by the way. 20 years ago. First generation Lexus GX. And I'm going to tell you, Lexus wanted us to experience that vehicle off-road. I don't know of hardly any luxury manufacturer that would bring journalists out to an off-road course. And I mean, not a baby one either. And we took those things seriously off-road, and they delivered. Amazing vehicle. Amazing then, amazing now. The Lexus GX was introduced into the automaker's lineup for the 2002 model year, becoming the third SUV within the product line. The GX is actually based on the Toyota Land Cruiser and is positioned between the smaller RX and larger TX/LX models. Reimagined from the ground up, the all-new GX was designed to inspire customers to pursue their urge to travel, take an unpaved path, and revel in the joy of driving. All true. It was true in the first generation. I can easily tell you, still true. Lexus enthusiasts have long praised its legendary off-road capability and its ability to tackle rough terrain, taking customers comfortably from errands to remote spaces. The third generation of the GX went into production in November 2023. With a more squared-off design than its previous generation, the GX rides on the GAF platform that is shared by the current generation Toyota Land Cruiser. The new GX is larger than the previous model in width, length, and wheelbase. The 2024 GX builds upon the strong foundation created by the outgoing generation and brings the intuitive technology, thoughtful interior touches, and continued off-road prowess that Lexus guests have come to expect. The all-new GX is offered in 6 models: Premium, Premium Plus, Luxury, Luxury Plus, and all-new for Lexus, Overtrail and Overtrail Plus. Power is generated by a 3.4-liter gasoline V6 twin-turbo engine that produces 349 horsepower and 479 foot-pounds of torque. Energy is communicated to all 4 wheels via 10-speed automatic transmission, as full-time 4-wheel drive is standard for all GX models. EPA economy numbers of 15 city, 21 highway, with premium unleaded gasoline recommended. Cargo capacity is 90.5 cubic feet. Towing capacity is 9,096 pounds. Minimum running ground clearance is just over 8.6 inches. The GX has been known for its off-road prowess since the beginning. The Torsen limited slip locking center differential is standard on all GX models, evenly splitting the engine's power 50-50 to help exceptional control in low grip situations and prevent excess wheel spin. While accelerating during a turn, the Torsen differential optimally distributes the driving force according to the load on the left, rear, and right driving wheels to achieve controlled performance. In straight-line driving, it responds well to changes in road conditions, contributing to overall vehicle stability. Multi-terrain select with enhanced functionality and capability is standard on both Overtrail models. This system is designed to provide optimized drive power, hydraulic brake pressure, and suspension control according to the selected mode. Switching between high range and low range is now faster versus the previous generation due to enhancements on the electric transfer case. Low range has 4 modes: auto, sand, mud, and rock. High range has 5 modes: auto, dirt, sand, mud, and deep snow. When multi-terrain select is on, the multi-terrain monitor is engaged to assist the driver with increased visibility under and around the vehicle when driving off-road. The multi-terrain monitor uses 4 cameras within the panoramic view monitor system to transpose underfloor, front, side, and rear view camera images shown to the 14-inch display, allowing the driver to check road conditions, blind spots, and distance between obstacles. For additional coverage, the Overtrail models exclusively offer an electronically controlled locking rear differential activated by a control-mounted switch that splits power evenly between the left and rear right wheel to help wheels turn at the same speed. And in certain situations, the locking rear differential is designed to ensure that the power is directed to the wheel with the traction. Crawl control can be engaged when the vehicle is in low range and allows the GX to move forward or in reverse at one of 5 driver-selected low-speed settings. Crawl control intuitively manages engine output and hydraulic braking pressure to help reduce tire slippage and optimize chassis behavior. The GX has up to a 26-degree approach, 24-degree breakover, and 21-degree departure angles. And here's what I liked about the vehicle. The GX has always been Lexus' go-to vehicle when they weren't shy about taking us seriously off-road when they introduced the first generation back in 2002. The GX then, as well as the GX now, continues to have the moxie necessary to prove that it's not just another pretty luxury SUV, all hat and no cattle. The driver continues to experience bolt-upright seating that offers impressive outward view of the road, ditch, and nearby surroundings. Still manufactured with a real frame, reed bank vault solid body-on-frame vehicle construction, the GX offers motorists excellent driving, riding, and comfort capabilities. Inside the cabin, a large infotainment screen, heated outboard second-row seats, rear climate controls, and plenty of USB ports located throughout make for a very friendly space. A head-up display, fog lights, heated and vented front seating, and a sunroof round out the accommodations. And here's what I don't like about the vehicle. The adaptive cruise control system didn't maintain the selected speed, there's no compass indicator, which surprised me, and there's no live replay infotainment capability, also surprised because that's typical of most upscale vehicles now, no retained accessory power, narrow rear door openings, and the speed limit sign indicator was wrong more often than it was right. And my personal pet peeve, the nanny state driver monitoring system was not glare-free and prone to errors. The second row seating did not offer fore-aft seating adjustment to optimize available space between the second and third row seating, and it is a high liftover height to access the rear cargo floor. And of course, pet peeve I've got for most of these SUVs, the full-size spare is located under the vehicle at the rear. One added note, though. While the third row seating is trick, you should never use it. A choice between people and cargo space is never pretty, and that is an acute one with the GX. And finally, I found that the tonneau cover, which is optional, was hard to reach and use. So here's the bottom line. This is a Lexus with honest off-road bona fides. The GS is at its best carrying 4 people. I think the optimum balance of people and cargo. And while I didn't get a chance to evaluate the over-trail models, I can assure you that the GX is more than capable of almost anything most motorists can dish out on or off-road. The base manufacturer suggested retail price for the 2024 Lexus GS 550 SUV starts from $64,250 for the premium up to $81,250 for the luxury plus. Destination charges add $1,350. I drove a Premium Plus with the following extra cost options: head-up display, cold area package, digital key with smart access card key, tonneau cover, and traffic jam assist. Total cost of the options was $2,205. Total MSRP, including options and destination charges for this vehicle, came to $71,455. I say, for a Lexus, and for this particular Lexus, even though I had some issues, still worth every penny. Moral status, practical ethics. It's the ethics of AI part 2 next. This is the Tech Mobility Show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. If you've missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the Tech Mobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts to iHeartRadio and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the Tech Mobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, and we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the Tech Mobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. This is part 2 of a segment I started a couple weeks ago about the ethics of artificial intelligence. The source document that I am using to guide the discussion was a paper authored by Nick Bostrom of the Future of Humanity Institute and Eliezer Yudowski of the Machine Intelligence Research Institute. This paper was actually published by the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, and honestly, and I'm going to prepare you now, full disclosure, this one is a healthy hike into the weeds of AI. This is topic B. I'm going to start, and I'm going to preface this discussion with this question. How do we keep this from becoming a real-life sci-fi nightmare? AI is everywhere right now. Companies are rushing to infuse it into every single digital process that there is. Those that are public-facing, those that are buried in industrial processes, everywhere. Whether it is marketing, sales, industrial, cybersecurity, you name it, somebody is either doing it or has done it, infusing AI. And certainly AI has its advantages, but the conversation is just now getting to, where do we go from here? What does this look like? What are the ethics around using such a tool? And more importantly, can this tool gain or be more than we are and actually become, if you want to go to the predictable sci-fi nightmare, the overlords of us? The possibility of creating thinking machines raises a host of ethical issues. That is the first sentence in this piece that these authors of this piece wrote. I'm breaking off a little at a time because it's very pithy. But because you are an aware tech consumer, I wanted to share this with you. It was worth the time. It's worth the effort to at least become aware of some of the conversation that needs to be had relative to AI. That you can't just blindly throw AI into everything and let it run rampant. There are issues, and there are issues that need to be dealt with because at some point, somewhere buried in this, at some point, there's a couple of issues that you're going to need to deal with. And in part 2, I attempt to deal with it. We're by no means done. And we will have this discussion at least 1 or 2 more times before the end of this series. So let me read from what the gentleman wrote. A rock has no moral status. We may crush it, pulverize it, or subject to any treatment we like without concern for the rock itself. A human person, on the other hand, must be treated not only as a means but also as an end. Exactly what it means to treat a person as an end is something about which different ethical theories disagree. But it certainly involves taking their legitimate issues into account, giving weight to their well-being. It may also involve accepting strict moral side constraints in our dealings with them, such as a prohibition against murdering them, stealing from them, or doing a variety of things to them or property without their consent. Moreover, it's because a human person counts in their own right, and for their sake is impermissible to do to them these things. This can be expressed more concisely by saying that a human has moral status. It is widely agreed that current AI systems have no moral status. We may change, copy, terminate, delete, or use computer programs as we please, at least as far as the programs themselves are concerned. The moral constraints to which we are subject in our dealings with contemporary AI systems are all grounded in our responsibilities to other beings such as our fellow humans and not any duties to the systems themselves. Listen to this. While it is fairly consensual that present-day AI systems lack moral status, it is unclear exactly what attributes ground moral status. 2 criteria are commonly proposed as being importantly linked to moral status, either separately or in combination: sentience and sapience, or personhood. These may be categorized as follows, and I want you to listen to these 2. Sentience, the capacity for phenomenal experience or qualia, such as the capacity to feel pain and suffer. Sapience, a set of capabilities associated with higher intelligence, such as self-awareness and being a reason-responsive agent. The common view is that many animals have qualia and therefore have some moral status, but only human beings have sapience, which gives them a higher moral status than non-human animals. This view, of course, must confront the existence as borderline cases, and we'll get into that later. I'm not going to go there. I need to skip around a little bit because it gets really, really deep, and I don't want you to get lost. So let me come down to this. The picture of moral status suggests that an AI system will have some moral status if it has the capability for qualia, such as an ability to feel pain. A sentient AI system, even if it lacks language and other higher cognitive faculties, is not like a stuffed toy animal or a wind-up doll. It's more like a living animal. The same would hold for any sentient AI system. If, in addition to sentience, an AI system also has sapience of a kind similar to that of a normal human adult, then it would have full moral status equivalent to that of a human being. One of the ideas underlying this moral assessment can be expressed in stronger form as a principle of non-discrimination. I trust y'all are still with me because, like I said, we are in the weeds here. But it is important to have this conversation because as AI gets more and more sophisticated and grabs more and more data, at some point, there's a threshold. and to know where that threshold is and what to do if and when systems get there is important. Because if you don't acknowledge it now, it is too late to close the barn door after all the animals have left. And that's what I think these authors are trying to grapple with. They're actually grappling with, there's a point. How do we define it? What does that look like? What are our obligations if an AI system reaches or satisfies these 2 points of sentience and sapience? Can they ever? Here's another question. Should we put in controls to limit how far they go? Are there advantages of allowing them to develop or giving them the tools to develop these levels? What happens if they do? What does moral status for an AI system look like? How does that interact with the human beings that created it? Are there any protections for us? And what happens if it makes other decisions because as an artificial being, they come to different conclusions about things that humans hold dear and have always assumed either through environment or experience or tradition or history? AI takes a different approach to that. And we get there. So these are big questions that they're trying to grapple with that is just at the beginning that you need to be aware of. AI loosed is not necessarily a good thing, but what does that look like as we attempt to define where it's going? And you should know that. And you should add questions about it because it should be do no harm. Protecting your online privacy is hard. Maybe a privacy fairy godmother can help. We are the Tech Mobility Show. To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Social media is the place to be these days, and we're no exception. I'm Ken Chester of the Tech Mobility Show. If you enjoy my program, then you will also enjoy my weekly Instagram videos. From the latest vehicle reviews to timely commentary on a variety of mobility and technology-related topics, these short features are designed to inform and delight you. Be sure to watch, like, and follow us on Instagram. You can find us by typing the Tech Mobility Show in the search bar. For those consumers that are serious about protecting their online privacy, an acknowledgement that the process is hard, confusing, and time-consuming. But what if it didn't have to be? A proposed California law might just be the blueprint for other states and the federal government to establish a simple, one-time opt-out. This is Topic C. Until this feature, until this piece, I thought that that was fantasy. And in my dream, as a modern consumer, I had often lamented that wouldn't it be awesome to be able to go to one place on the internet and say, hey, I want to opt out of all this stuff one time, companies that I know about, companies that are manipulating data that I don't know anything about anywhere. And have one place that they come and says, for my data, no, sorry, you can't have it. I'm not sharing it, and you can't use it. And if you do, there are consequences. Unfortunately, right now in the United States of America, there are no federal laws protecting me like that, or you for that matter. What we don't know, and I needed to go find out, there was a California law. I don't know if the governor had signed it, but had he signed it, you would be able to click a box in any web browser or in your phone settings to command companies not to share your personal information. And I could hardly wait. And in case you're wondering, yes, Europe already has something like that. And the nickname for that part of their law is called the right to be forgotten. So there's already precedent in the world for consumers saying, you know what, big data, no, I don't want you to use it. And I hope that part of that also includes a part that says, you know what, I don't want you to use my data in any future AI models. Unfortunately, AI models probably already have your data in them because there's no mechanism now to opt out. Unless, you have the money and the wherewithal to sue the companies. And honestly, do you know of all the data companies that are manipulating data, building large language models? No, you don't. And all the startups which may have access to foundation models and manipulating them in such a way to create other products from them? I did a presentation a month or so ago to commercial real estate group where we talked about AI. One of the features that I used was a short clip produced by the BBC of a couple of voiceover actors in the United States during the writer's strike who was listening to a podcast about AI. Lo and behold, the man of the couple hears the AI of that piece interviewing another AI in his own voice. And he never gave permission or authority or anything for them to use it like that. And in fact, the job that he did get some 6 to 8 months prior, they said it would never be broadcast, never be used. We just want to use it to train. So it will never be out in the ether, would never be out in the open. And that obviously was a lie. Now, in their case, and the wife also found her voice out there. They're in the process of suing. But it leads to, privacy, protection. What kind of protection do you have? Without your true consent, when you buy a banana, brake hard in your car, download a fitness app, or read news online, the company might pass on data about you to other businesses. Yeah, this is light. Let me just get to where it is. The company might sell data about you to other businesses. Because if the app is free, you're the product. These personal information slurries may be used to estimate your income, political preferences, religion, health habits, and more to pitch you products, send you political messages, or set car insurance rates without your knowledge or maybe even permission. A nonprofit did a study of personal security in cars and the data that is collected by the average connected car today. And I am unpleasantly weirded out that one automaker was able, and I don't know how, to suss out sexual preferences of its drivers. Okay, that is weird and not comfortable and not okay on so many levels. Why would they need that information to begin with? And worse yet, why would they need to know that to sell cars? Why would they need to know that? Oh, well. Privacy laws in some states, notably California, give people the right to tell most businesses not to sell or share information they collect, or in some cases, delete the data about you. But to take advantage of those privacy rights, you often need to fill out complicated forms with dozens of companies. And honestly, who's got time to do that? And again, in Europe, like I said, you can do that in Europe. It's called the right to be forgotten, and I just think it's wonderful. But baked into some state privacy laws is the option to enlist someone else to handle the legwork for you. That one wielding privacy fairy godmother could be Consumer Reports, whose app can help you opt out of companies saving and selling your data. Even better, the godmother could be just a checkbox you click once in order every company to keep your data secret. I have wanted this for years. Regular listeners know that every now and then, that was my hope, my wish. I thought it was fantasy in the United States. I want that. I would use that. The minute it would be available, I would opt out. This has been an option in a very few privacy-conscious but little-used web browsers like Firefox, Brave, and DuckDuckGo. Few people noticed. The proposed law that passed the California legislature is a serious step up. It's essentially a legal mandate on Google and Apple, who own the dominant web browsers and smartphone systems, to provide the one-click privacy option to millions more people. This kid says, amen. Let's do it. You should control your data. You should control your privacy. You should have the right to determine how information about you is used in the world. And you should especially have the right that if you don't want it used, they can't use it. The beautiful part about California is they have a privacy watchdog called the California Privacy Protection Agency that can verify businesses are complying with the new law or sue them. The new California legislation would require those opt-out options in all browsers and in iPhones and Android phones. One-time decision. Check once you're done. It is a Christmas present 3 months early. I so want this, and I hope that this is something that could be federal, because we all deserve that. You deserve to have control over your data, your information, your life. It's part of the pursuit of happiness. And I think that California's legislation is a step in the right direction. I just lament that it's not federal. But hey, fairy godmother, sprinkle some dust. Let's make this happen federally. We've come to the end of our visit. Be sure to join me again next time right here. This has been the Tech Mobility Show.
The Tech Mobility Show is a copywritten production of Tech Mobility Productions Incorporated. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use is prohibited without the written consent of Tech Mobility Productions Incorporated.
For those of you that listen to podcasts, we have just the one for you. Hi, I'm Ken Chester. Tech Mobility Topics is a podcast where I upload topic-specific videos each week. Shorter than the full show, these bite-sized programs are just the thing, particularly if you're interested in a particular topic covered on the weekly radio show. From Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and many podcast platforms in between, we got you covered. Just enter Tech Mobility Topics in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts. Social media. It's the place to be, and we're no exception. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Several times a week, I post to TikTok several of the topics that I cover on my weekly radio show. It's another way to keep up on mobility, technology, news, and information. I've built quite a library of short videos for your viewing pleasure, so be sure to watch, like, and subscribe. That's the Tech Mobility Show on TikTok. Check it out. To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show. Do you listen to podcasts? Seems that most people do. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. If you've missed any of our weekly episodes on the radio, our podcast is a great way to listen. You can find the Tech Mobility Podcast just about anywhere you can enjoy podcasts. Be sure to follow us. From Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many platforms in between, we are there. Just enter the Tech Mobility Podcast in the search bar wherever you listen to podcasts.